Let's give Miranda a hand for being an awesome leader as she represented us this past year, because she wasn't born to follow either. We are here today at a convergence of significant milestones. In NSBA's 77-year history, spanning the service of more than 1.2 million local school board members, only 70 have had the privilege of serving as national president. With the passing of the gavel just moments ago, I now have the honor of being the 70th president of the National School Boards Association. Thank you. I am humbled and eternally grateful for this opportunity. I'm very appreciative for the support I've received from my local Board of Education in Sayreville, New Jersey. I'd like to thank the New Jersey School Boards Association for their professional development, support, and friendship during my 23 years as a local school board member. I also extend deep gratitude to my employer, the General Electric Company, for their flexibility and encouragement as I pursue this invaluable endeavor in support of public education for the next year. I was first elected to my local school board at the age of 19, and I credit the American Legion Jersey Boys State program for taking my life in a direction I never dreamed possible. I wasn't the youngest school board member to ever serve, nor at age 31 was I the youngest New Jersey School Boards Association president. But I am delighted to stand before you today as the youngest National School Boards Association president in history. I'm proud also to be only the second NSBA president ever elected from the great state of New Jersey. And New Jersey's in the house. Ruth Mancuso from Glassboro, New Jersey, served as NSBA's 20th president exactly 50 years ago in 1967. Talk about milestones. In that same year, NSBA's Council of School Attorneys, COSA, and NSBA's Council of Urban Boards of Education, CUBE, were formed. I congratulate COSA and CUBE on 50 years of outstanding service to school board attorneys and for helping urban school board leaders address some of the most challenging and pressing issues in public education. There's one more milestone which occurred in that year. On August 26, 1967, a young lady named Carol Olender from Sayreville, New Jersey, married a young man named Ed from South River, New Jersey. 5 months from yesterday, and 5 children later, they will celebrate 50 years of marriage. Not only did my parents raise me and my brother, but they also opened their home to not just 1 or 2, but dozens of foster children. Growing up, Santa Claus never stopped visiting the Ciak household, and 3 of those children would stay and become a permanent part of our family. It is an honor to introduce my parents, Carol and Edward Ciak. Mom and Dad, you raised us in a family that as school board leaders, we can only hope every child in our nation has a chance to experience. Though you came out on stage to the music of Kenny Rogers, I think it was Dan Fogelberg who said it best. I thank you for the memories and your stories of the road. I thank you for the freedom when it came my time to go. I thank you for the kindness and the times when you got tough. And Mom and Dad, I don't think I've said I love you near enough. My brother Jason and his wife Anne Marie were here earlier in the conference. My sister Tara is attending college and unfortunately couldn't be here. But my brother Anthony and my sister Jackie are here at this session. Jackie, Anthony, I love you, and I truly appreciate you being here today. Jacqueline, you're an inspiration as a nurse. Anthony, you motivate me by your international business career. I am so appreciative that you could be here. Now, I want to say one more thing to you. And for any of you who have siblings, you will certainly understand what I'm about to say in the spirit of that brotherly love. And this is it. I recognized Mom and Dad's anniversary on a national stage in front of thousands of people. What are you going to get them this year? I thank you for indulging me in that special moment. But more than a special moment for me, these milestones all have something in common. Each of them was an inflection point in our past, a mere tiny ripple in the eternal waters of time that created an enormous wave of achievement for our future. As we gather today in this space and in this time, reflecting on so many points in our history, we are at the inflection point of another significant milestone. You see, the children who enter America's public schools, our schools, in the fall of this year, 2017, will be the high school graduating class of 2030. Think about that for a minute. The year 2030. As school board members, we are board members of organizations both corporate and politic. Collectively, America's school boards are the largest employer in America. We have shareholders, parents and community members for whom we generate the value of an educated citizenry, a productive workforce, and property value appreciation. As school board members, we power the future of our nation's economic engine. And while most corporate boards are relentlessly focused on their customers, we as school boards are focused on something far more precious and valuable: the 50.4 million public school children across this great land. Of all the groups we represent, our students are the most important. And it is a great honor and privilege for me to introduce to you our newest generation of leaders. Fellow school board members, I present to you our high school graduating class of 2030.
What will you be when you grow up?
I'm a police officer.
A police officer?
A police officer.
A police officer. What does a police officer do?
We give tickets. I'm a firefighter.
A firefighter. What do firefighters do?
Without fires.
¿Qué tú quieres ser cuando tú creces?
Police.
In 2030, what do you think houses will look like?
Decorations. They were pretty, shiny, and beautiful. Cars will look like race cars. With decorations on them.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A teacher. I want to be a teacher. Eagles football player.
An Eagles football player.
I want to be a shopper and shop for everything I need.
What kind of things do you need?
Like baby bottles and clothes and maybe furniture, maybe like a desk, maybe like books, maybe like a carpet, maybe some cameras, or maybe like some toys.
That last student may be running for public office. We've just heard from the newest generation of leaders in our country, their dreams and their aspirations. How do we ensure that each and every one has the opportunity to achieve their dreams? You know, for most businesses across the country, 2030 is a generation away. For all of us as school board members, 2030 is here. Each student we just met, and over 3 million just like them, are entering our public schools this fall. Some will enter ready and willing to learn, raised on a steady stream of new words, learning experiences, and already knowing their alphabet. Many of us can identify with those students, as we were once like them. Others will not be so fortunate. They will have had no preschool, no Sesame Street, or similar learning experiences to enhance their cognitive, social, and emotional development. For far too many, the free or reduced-priced school meal on the first day of school may be the most nutritious and satisfying meal they've had that day. Some will arrive with learning disabilities, which will need to be overcome. And on that first day, teachers will identify students who have opportunities to improve their social behavior. ¿Qué tal el estudiante que no podía hablar una palabra de inglés? Estadísticamente, la clase de 2030 tendrá 350,000 estudiantes que no conocen el idioma inglés. Como miembros de las juntas escolares, ¿cómo nos educamos sobre la eficacia de los programas que ofrecemos a estos estudiantes? Lograrán sus sueños. Will we as school board members ensure all English language learners achieve their dreams? Did we notice the diversity of the class of 2030? Now think about your local school board. Think about your local students. Is the diversity of your board composition aligned to the diversity of the students you represent? Has your board discussed this alignment? Are you taking action and communicating the importance to your communities and encouraging diversity among the next generation of school board candidates? Diversity must be broader than simply cultural diversity. We must embrace diversity in both thought and life experience. The Hopatcong, New Jersey School District continues to implement comprehensive STEAM initiatives. The Board of Education is reducing non-instructional costs, executing a dollar-for-dollar shift into instructional programs that drive student achievement. I'd like to ask Board of Education President Anthony Fasano to stand. He was also elected at 19, and last year at age 21, his colleagues elected him board president. We must embrace diversity in all its forms and never underestimate the insight a high school graduate or senior citizen can provide. Thank you, Mr. Fasano. Fellow school board members, I ask you to join me this year in a calling, one known as Vision 2030, a transformation, in the words of Jim Collins, in taking America's school boards from good to great. As we consider all the opportunity and promise of the class of 2030 and beyond, let's think about our last school board meeting. What drove our agenda? Did we as school boards discuss these opportunities? Do we have the data on what our business communities require of tomorrow's workforce? Do we understand how our students learn today and how we create the STEM leaders our workforce needs tomorrow? And what about the arts? Do our arts education programs not only produce the creative business leaders we need, but do they help our children understand the true beauty that exists in this world? Have we assessed cyber risk within our district? And as board members, are we confident that our student and personnel data are secure? Do our physical education programs instill in our students a lifelong love of fitness, which will reduce our nation's long-term cost of health care? Will the next generation possess the technical skills and be physically and mentally able to defend this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic? Are we confident that our curricula will produce citizens that will preserve the ideals of democracy to the next generation? And do we instill in our students a pride, igniting a desire deep within them that causes them to rise with hand over heart every time our American flag passes before them or our national anthem is sung? Have we instilled true patriotism? And most importantly, as school board members, what evidence do we have that demonstrates we have done so? Now, I know the current Washington political climate talks more about creating alternative education schemes as opposed to investing in great public schools. And more than ever, parents and educators are afraid of what that means for the schools they care so much about. But we in this room cannot be afraid. In 19 days, public education will celebrate its 382nd birthday, born in a one-room schoolhouse in Boston, Massachusetts. Its legacy and its future are in our hands, and we need to make it known that any agenda other than a pro-public education agenda is a threat to the cornerstone of our democracy, to our country's future and stability. As I travel the country in my next year as president, I encourage state school board associations not only to invite me to their school board conference, but also to invite me to visit a local school district to experience an innovative educational program. Together, we can be an even stronger voice. And as president, I will share and amplify the successes in our schools and the innovative educational programs occurring in our local school districts and communities. Together, as I visit your state conferences, we'll delve deeper into the Vision 2030 philosophy, techniques, and best practices. And together, we will stand up for public schools. I look forward to the year ahead serving as the president of the National School Boards Association as we execute Vision 2030 together. You can follow me on Twitter at Kevin_NSBA to see the great programs that exist and the Vision 2030 philosophies that are out there occurring in our public schools today. I know that I cannot do this work alone, and I cannot do it without you. And for the class of 2030 and beyond, the stakes are too high for us not to succeed. Thank you all for your support and leadership and for bestowing this great honor upon me. Thank you.